The Niagara Peninsula Conservation Foundation Speaker Series continues May 26th. This month's guest is writer, musician, speaker, and broadcaster David Newland. David, I sat down, listened to your latest album, Northbound. It really captures the spirit of life in the Arctic through storytelling, and that's really what a lot of your music is all about.
Thank you. Yeah, it sure is. I consider myself a folk singer, but a contemporary folk singer. So I use the tools that are available to me, whether it's the internet or CDs or streaming services, television, you name it. But what I'm fundamentally doing is I'm telling stories about people and place. And the people and places that fascinate me are all happening within the boundaries of what we call Canada. I had the chance to travel up north a fair bit over the last number of years. That really inspired me, and that became the source and the inspiration for Northbound.
21 voyages to the north is what your bio says, and that's amazing. And certainly a lot of that is informing your music. And some of the music on Northbound, you're actually collaborating with some Inuit musicians.
Yeah, I felt that was really essential, and I want to be clear. I've had the good fortune to travel to the Arctic with expedition cruises run by Adventure Canada. That's how actually the vast majority of people these days will go to the Arctic if they get a visit. So I've been there in the summer, I've been there in comfort, but I have had the chance to go in company with Inuit knowledge keepers, guides, people who know and understand the culture, the language, and so on. And I learned so much and felt my eyes had been so opened as someone who always thought he was a northerner because he was from Canada, and then going and meeting actual northern people in the actual north of Canada, which is really Inuit territory. And I wanted to reflect that back and say, I can be a bridge. I can help people get a little bit more understanding, but I'm only going to do that if we can work together. So not only did I collaborate with Inuit musicians, throat singers, drum dancers, jaw harp players, but every lyric was gone over. I literally paid a collaborator of mine to come and be a cultural consultant and go over the lyrics, work with me on the presentation of the material, and be a part of my live performance, which we then recorded and made the album.
On May 26th, for the Foundation Speaker Series, will you be focusing on your experiences? Will you be playing some of your music?
I'm going to do something I call the Northwest Passage in story and song. And what I do is I take that Canadian fascination with the Arctic, which again I also have, and I kind of try to channel it and let us take the myths that we've received around Franklin's lost expedition and, journeys into the so-called Arctic wasteland and so forth. Let's freshen that up. Let's take that interest, but let's freshen it up with ideas about the contemporary Arctic. Let's reintroduce the fact that this is not empty territory. Inuit are living there the whole time all these endeavors are going on. They've actually done the Northwest Passage by the time, long before Europeans get there. They've done it coming the other way, right? And so we just reimagine that and rethink that. And I can give that information with photos and with words as a presenter. But then what the music does is it takes people on that emotional journey, which is fundamentally what happened for me. I had an emotional journey. I came away a changed person, and I want to convey that on a personal level.
David, you studied photography at Concordia University, so I imagine your photographs capture the spirit of the Arctic just as well as your music does.
Thank you for saying that, and I do think I take some pretty good pictures. A lot of the time when I'm up there, I'm shooting on a cell phone with the handle of a Zodiac, an outboard motor in one hand and 10 people, and I got to watch the waves and everything. So I have also collaborated with other photographers who have allowed me to use their images. In particular, Scott Forsyth, who's originally from Burlington, he and I have actually done a whole tour together. He's Canadian Geographic's photographer in residence, and he allows me to use his images and his drone video, which is utterly spectacular. And we've done a collaborative stage performance as well. So I like to bring in people who can kind of do the best job, and his images are next level.